It's an honor to be able to be here today, okay? When I look at what's going on around the country, I am just so happy because all of you took a chance on my father. You know, in 2016, he was going around places like this, telling you all the things he was going to do. But you've heard that from politicians for decades, right? People who hadn't actually done anything other than be politicians. They tell you what they're going to do. They get elected. They do nothing. Oftentimes, they do worse than nothing because they have no business making these sorts of decisions for us. But Donald Trump was a little different, right? Donald Trump said he was going to do a lot of things. And guess what, guys? He did them! Promises made, promises kept. But just think, imagine that in this world, in 2020, promises made, promises kept is an anomaly. It's not what they actually do. But he went in there, and guess what, guys? In all fairness, Donald Trump needed this job like a hole in the head. No, but why'd he do it? For all of you. He wants you, your children, and your grandchildren to be able to live in a country that you guys recognize, and that's not where we're going. So, unlike the Biden, remember, because I say, where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? Hey guys, what do you think our friends in the media would say if Donald Trump Jr. $3,000 a month from a corrupt Ukrainian oil company? You think they'd have a problem with that? You think they'd maybe ask a question or two about it? No, I want that gig. In my next life, I want to come back as the son of a Democrat because you can do anything you want. There's no consequences. If I did what Hunter did, I'd be in jail right now. I did 30 hours of testimony in front of the United States House and the United States Senate. Now, it wasn't real testimony, but what it was is a perjury trap, right? They get you in there, they ask you the same question 1,000 times, and if you say you did something at 12:01 p.m., but it was 12:02, that's it, you're done. Right, that's all it is. And then I'm watching, and you see the impeachment hoax going on. By the way, don't forget, this has been going on also for what, 3 years? Right? Remember our friends at the Washington Post, 19 minutes after the inauguration, they write the article, The Case for Impeachment. 19 minutes. They nominated Barack Obama for the Nobel Prize 11 days after his inauguration, but it took them 19 minutes to make the case for impeachment of Donald Trump. That is why it is so important for all of you to be here right now. That is why it is important for you to be so motivated, to be in this game, right? Because that, folks, that is what we are up against. All right? They can say anything. Oh, the Where's Hunter shirt. Oh, that's beautiful. I may have to steal that. Where's Hunter? But let's not kid ourselves. I almost feel, almost, I don't want to get crazy now, but I almost feel bad for Joe Biden because, in all fairness, if Joe Biden came out to a crowd like this, he would say, "It's great to be here in Florida." Hey, Joe, we're in New Hampshire. Oh. Maybe that's why there's snow on the ground and it's cold outside. And, sir, you are a dog-faced pony soldier. Whatever the hell that means, I don't know. I have no idea. But, like, you know, when Joe gets a little confused, it's not even like Ohio, Iowa. Like, you know, I could understand that once. But every week? Like, Iowa, New Hampshire? I don't know, guys. It's not exactly close. If Donald Trump did that once, every pundit on TV right now would be saying, Donald Trump has dementia. Right? He did it once, and it's over. Joe can do it about every day, and it's like there's nothing to see here, folks. Right? Just like I'm giving this speech, and while there's teleprompters here, I don't use them because I'm making it up as we go. But it's easy when it's fun. It's easy when you have this kind of support, and it's easy when you have facts to back you up. But I sort of want it to be Joe, right? Because I'm watching these videos of him, and he's speaking to a crowd of about 20. So if we took about one row deep and go about 10 feet wide, he's speaking to him, and they have him teleprompted. I go, all I want for Christmas is him one-on-one with Donald Trump for 6 months. That's all I want for Christmas, guys. Imagine that. Meaning, they can hide him right now in a field of 20 communists. I get it. You can't hide forever. You know, but then you have other brilliant people that you want to have the nuclear football, right? Let's take Elizabeth Warren, for example. Wow. 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 Now, but think about it. This is why I sort of love what we're running against, right? Elizabeth Warren, think about this, guys, is sitting around a table with her top advisors, the people who will probably make and form her cabinet in time, right? And she gets trolled into taking a DNA test. You remember this one, right? But more importantly than getting trolled into taking a DNA test, imagine being there and getting the result. And it says, maybe, 1,024th Native American. Because there's a young child in the audience right here. How old are you? How old are you, buddy? How old are you? You're 11. Even you know that 1,024th is not a big percentage, right? Thank you. But Elizabeth Warren and her top advisors got that number less than 1/10 of 1%. Now, she built her career, tenure, school jobs, probably Senate campaigns around being Native American. She now finds out she's less than 1/10 of 1% Native American. And they all sat around a table and looked at each other and say, this is a win. This is a win. We got him. We got Donald Trump. Imagine the total lack of judgment. Imagine the total lack of common sense that is the result, and you run with it as though it is gospel. I mean, do you want that person making decisions for you? For your kids, for your loved ones, for your friends in the military? Because I sure as hell do not. Right? Guys, this is what we're up against. It's why you got to be so engaged. But again, when you have a mainstream media complex that has just chosen to ignore fact, chosen to put their hatred of Donald Trump above everything else, chosen to disregard the best employment numbers in the history of modern America, chosen to ignore that Donald Trump and his policies have created a blue-collar boom. That can still do a lot. When they've chosen to be the marketing wing of the other side, don't underestimate what it can do. If you guys are here, you're into this, okay? You appreciate your freedoms. You appreciate this country. You appreciate what's going on. But the average guy, thank you, sir. I appreciate you too, buddy. You want to do this? You want to come up here? I love you too. Thank you. Thank you, man. Okay. Don't underestimate what that can do. Some guy that's getting 5 minutes of news a day and it's 96% negative. Okay? That's hard to overcome, guys. If this was a normal battle, the game would be over by now. Okay? This would be like a World Series team taking on a failed Little League team in reality. But we're not living in reality because the way they're able to manipulate it. You've seen what's going on. As my father is signing a historic trade deal with China to benefit hard-working Americans, the Democrats are signing the articles of impeachment. Now Nancy Pelosi can rip up all of my father's accomplishments. She can sit there and rip up your job numbers, your rising wages, but she can't rip up your spirit. She can't rip up your fight. And under my father, America will never be a socialist country. Hey guys, just don't get lost and go to the wrong rally, because if you do that at Bernie's rally, they're going to run you down and beat you up, okay? Another thing they don't talk about, right? The media conveniently forgets when conservatives, Trump supporters, are attacked. But if you guys did that to any of them, it would be front-page news, just like happened yesterday, right? Again, that's the double standard. But because you are in this game, because you are with us, because of your support, I promise you, we're going to keep the winning going. We're going to do this with Donald Trump at the helm, and it's going to be because of all of you. Now, well, let's worry one step at a time. Let's worry about 2020. That's all we got to focus on, right? Let's keep winning.
Did Don Jr. make a good speech? Come. They're good kids. They went through a lot with this hoax. I want to tell you, they went through a lot with the hoax.
They're chanting 46. They want you to run after your dad serves another 4 years.
Well, that's honestly, it's an incredible honor and very humbling. My only focus is literally making sure that he can get reelected in 2020. I mean, when you look at the accomplishments, the things that he's been able to get done, the things he's been able to get done despite unprecedented resistance. Right? Nothing but resistance. I mean, no one watching can name a single thing that the Democrats have even tried to do over the last 3.5 years other than prevent him from doing anything, and he's still getting it done. So I love the direction that this country is going. I love that he's fighting for Americans, putting Americans first, fighting for the lowest wage earners, and their wages are going up. Unemployment numbers are the lowest in recorded history for every demographic. I mean, we're really living an American blue-collar boom, which is what he promised. Mm-hmm. That's why you're getting those people, that many people, to show up and to stay that long and to be that supportive.
Well, I follow you on Instagram, and I know you are very supportive of a number of Republican campaigns, in addition to your father, around the country. What about what happened down in Jacksonville, where the guy ran into the crowd at a Republican voter registration event?
The silence was deafening. When I see that happen, and by the way, the violence against conservatives and Republicans and Trump supporters is so prevalent and so underreported. I mean, if at all. I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot and that was some sort of pretend, crazy right-wing, alt-right, whatever person doing it to a Bernie Sanders or an Elizabeth, it would be the ¡1 news story all over America. There's not a journalist that wouldn't be covering it ad nauseum for weeks. But when it happens to a Trump supporter, it's getting to the point of tacit complacency from the left and from the media, which are basically the same thing at this point. It's truly disgusting. It would be one of the largest, if not the largest story, superseding all of the primary stuff, all of the craziness in Iowa, if it was the other way around. But when it happens to a Trump supporter, it's okay because they're a Trump supporter. We can just condone that. It's truly disgusting, and honestly, I'm getting sick of it, and so are Americans.
How about the anger, the vitriol? That guy he was in court. Thankfully, he didn't hurt anyone, but he's in court, and he looks back at the camera just with a smug, like, I don't care what you think of me. I'm happy,
there he is.
Proud of this. Watch this. Look.
Yeah. Again, it's truly disgusting. Again, if that same guy was a Trump supporter doing that, what would the headline say? We all know what they would say. Okay, it would be, you can't even imagine what it would be, right? It's so sickening. And again, that's the environment in which we are. That's what the Democrats, because they won't cover it, they've almost started condoning these sort of attacks, and it's truly disgusting. And I really look forward to someone on that side, someone in the media, to have the guts to actually say enough is enough. But I haven't seen it, guys, and it's happened time and time again. The analogies that they'd make, the comparisons that they'd make, we all know where they would go with this one. But you know what I've heard? Nothing.
Right. Well, one person who has spoken up is Charlie Kirk's organization's put together a video that just talked about when Nancy Pelosi ripped up that script, how many people's stories she ripped up. And the script 100%. Was of the State of the Union address. She wants that thing taken down.
Well, that's, by the way, I work with Charlie a lot, as you know, and Benny Johnson actually put together that meme. That was my idea. I was like, I want this, Benny. Can you put it together? And he did, and I was the first one to post it. And because I was there, I heard those stories. I was sitting next to those great Americans, and each story so special and so unique. To watch her do that at the end in this contrived, pre-ripped thing, because she can get away with it. There is no one holding them accountable. And those were incredible American stories that she ripped up. And of course now, because that bias, that sort of disgusting, action was highlighted, now she wants total censorship. And that's what it is, guys. They're not just coming for your Second Amendment. They're coming for your First Amendment. You can't do anything against the leftists or you're going to try to get censored. And that's what she is. When Nancy Pelosi is going to Facebook to basically take down a meme of her actual actions, this isn't like a fake video. It's just, we're highlighting this incredible American, rip up that dream. Highlight this American, rip up that dream. That's what she was doing. But again, they're used to never having any pushback. They're used to no one fighting back. And that's why Donald Trump is catching on with conservatives so well. Because he's actually said, guys, you can push back. You don't just have to take the loss because the leftists want you to.
Are the social media companies trying to take it down?
Listen, honestly, if they do that one, I think, it's all over.
So she can ask.
This isn't like a modified
thing. I mean, it's very clear. This isn't some sort of, adding words to someone's mouth. It's just exactly what she did.
What is your dad saying about Nancy Pelosi? Because, in the past when he's had feuds with people, like Ted Cruz comes to mind, they get along now and they support one another. I felt like he would probably do that with Nancy Pelosi and try to work with her, but the impeachment hearing, and did he intentionally not shake her hand?
Listen, the way I saw it, honestly, I don't think so. He didn't shake Mike Pence's hand either.
No, he didn't.
He handed a paper, he turned around, and when she moved for it, he was already looking towards Mike Pence, so, right. And he didn't shake his hand.
The National Prayer Breakfast. I'm glad he was honest about it. He's not going to pretend to be friends with someone.
And when I hear, I'm praying for Donald Trump, come on, no one actually believes that. Okay, let's be real. No one actually believes that Nancy Pelosi is sitting there praying for Donald Trump.
Praying that he gets out of office, maybe.
But I think, again, Republicans appreciate his honesty. And listen, he can be tough at times. He can be a lot at times for some of even the conservatives. The reality is this. If you went through on a daily basis what he did, the attacks, the vitriol, just look at what I went through, what they put his family through, right? Hunter Biden's totally off limits, but Barron Trump, you can go after him. That's okay because he's Trump's kid. You know what? You'd probably look at the world a little differently. You'd probably push back a little harder. And the fact that he has pushed back harder has allowed him to achieve what he has achieved. If he did what most conservatives just sort of roll over and die when challenged by the left, you wouldn't have the accomplishments that he has.
We just got a chance to witness possibly the 46th president of the United States.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, they were chanting it.